Yes, it's right!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Game Society podcast for January 2018. I'm Adam, joined by, of course, Emery and Aaron, and we also have a special guest today. We have a genuine hero with us. We have Hero. What are you doing? What's up, man? Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Well, thank you for being part of it. Actually, funny enough, we were also supposed to have Abed, but he decided he didn't want to do it, so that's the four of us instead of the five of us.
Well, I can't believe Abed didn't want to get up at 4 in the morning to record a podcast. God, come on,
I know,
Abed.
isn't that fucking weird?
Oh,
Ew.
Yeah.
wow.
So, basically, what's up, guys? What have you guys been up to? Let's start with you, Hero. What have you been doing lately? What's going on?
Practicing drawing, working. Mainly, that's it.
What do you draw?
Just right now, I'm just practicing, like landscapes or little cartoon characters.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Have
That's
you
cool.
been drawing for a long time and just like have never really focused on it and just kind of want to focus on it, or is it a brand new hobby or what?
I might say it's a brand new hobby. I mean, as a little kid, I love drawing, but I started to actually get like lessons for it more now.
Okay.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I have no drawing talent. I can barely write.
Yeah, that's true. You can't.
Yeah, my handwriting's like a retarded kid's.
I tried drawing in high school, like during this class, but man, I'm just too messy and sloppy, and I can barely write too. Like my signature's become like worse than a doctor's signature, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't be worse.
So we respect you, Hero, because we can't do that shit. Actually, Emery's kind of okay. I'll give Emery some credit. I've seen his drawings.
I actually won a fucking like school-wide contest in high school. You know.
Awesome.
Because of my drawing. Yeah.
Was it for being humble? Because I don't think you deserved it.
No, I made a like a charcoal sketch drawing thing of Bob Marley, but instead of a blunt in his mouth, there was nothing in his mouth.
Oh, dude, do you want to reenact that scene in Titanic, and you can draw me in charcoal?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my
Kate
God.
Winslet, dude.
That'd be awesome.
Paint me like one of your French Yondas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, let's do it.
You have
That'd
a
be
nice
funny as
body.
hell.
I mean,
But
it's
I'll
like-
wear those X's over my nips.
Yeah, please.
The
Please do.
electrical
And then I'll
tape.
rip them off.
I don't like.
Yeah, I'll be behind the couch ripping them off.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about things that we talk
well,
about.
No, beyond that, the only other thing is, Aaron, you and I both went down to San Antonio. We went to PAX South, and we had a good time, sort of. We went. Let's put it
San
that way.
Antonio's pretty cool, actually. They got the river, which I didn't know anything about, and it's like a river that they made that goes straight down the center of town to the Alamo. And it's fun. You can walk on it, and there's like restaurants and bars and boats full of Santa Claus.
Yeah, it was boats full of Santa Claus. That whole place is Disneyland, man.
It is really
It's
weird.
fucking
Like there was
weird.
3 barges full of all gray, long bearded men and their wives who all look like Santa Claus.
Whoa.
There's like a
we were
secret
already-
club of them or something.
We were already describing it as Disneyland, and then we crossed this bridge, and just literally 3 boats full of these singing Santa Clauses came by, and we're like, see, it's fucking Disney World.
Yeah.
This place is weird.
It was super romantic. Adam and I really developed hatred for each other.
Yeah, I got some. It was awesome. I got some hate.
Like really passionate romantic hatred.
Really passionate romantic hate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a hate job. It was awesome.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and then we saw the Alamo for a few seconds, and that was worth it. So cool.
Alamo, that place is crazy because like the doorways are super like short. You know, everything was made for like short people back then. Crazy, right?
I mean, everybody was short.
Emery, do you know what the Alamo is?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, good.
but you didn't actually go in it? You just like looked
We
at
didn't.
No, you have to like pay money to go in.
Oh,
We didn't
okay.
scope out the doorways.
That's
but
why you don't know what I'm talking about.
I believe
No, we
you.
have no idea.
People
Okay.
were shorter though. Like we've just gotten taller in the last 100 years when we started eating healthier or something.
Yeah. Fucking government
we
started spraying
industrialized our-
pesticides into our bodies.
Yeah, when we industrialized our diets, and started eating like steam.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, what? I don't know.
What?
Next topic.
Anyway, moving on. Thank you. That's what we've been up to. The first subject we're going to talk about tonight is actually brought to us here by Hero, even though he has no idea that this is what he picked.
Wow.
That's what makes you a hero, dude. You
Wait,
just fucking decide shit without even deciding it.
I think he should have a little what do you call that? Like a jingle.
Sure, make one.
It's really short. It's just like the speed stick one, and it's by Hero. Bam.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Sure.
Does that work for you, Hero? Can I get an
Yeah.
approval on that?
Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah. Nice.
And Hero didn't come back to Patreon the next month. Anyway,
By
so-
Hero. Bam.
That's
Bye,
why you're
Hero,
saying bye,
literally.
hero.
Yeah, that's why you're saying bye, Hero. Yeah,
Bye, hero. Thanks for coming.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
it was fun while you were here. Anyway, sorry we scared you off. But anyway, the subject you sort of picked was one that was basically YouTube rolled out new rules for monetization regarding smaller channels, about how you have to have 4,000 watch hours in a year, and then you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And a lot of people have kind of lost their shit over that. Yonda, I know you had an opinion. What do you got?
I thought it was 4,000 watch hours a month. At one point, I swear to God, you said that to me.
No, a year.
Okay, well then that's doable for our second channel. So at first when this all went down, I was of the mindset of like, yeah, I mean, I get why they have to do that. Smaller channels will have something to work towards. They're not making any money anyway, and it'll probably be a good goal for them to have. And then I suddenly realized that Game Society 2 is one of those channels.
And
we
then
need
it became
to be
personal.
monetized, or we can't do live broadcasts on it. And I was like, and there's a reason we need to do that. And I was like, oh fuck.
Are they trying to
Unbelievable.
like not have lower like YouTube channels or something, or are they trying to kill off like smaller?
No,
channels?
they're not trying to kill them. They're just trying to establish a minimum number of either watch hours or views or both. Not views, subscribers. In order to stop spammers from just making channels and fucking up their whole system, which a lot of
Oh.
people were doing. I mean,
So,
they
like,
have billions of
so-
hours of video
Sorry.
uploaded, like, so much. I don't know how YouTube can deal
because
with
I
all of it.
I was wondering, like, say,
It's a lot of server farms.
Like
Yeah.
one of us decides to like, maybe one of your viewers decide to make their own channel, and now they have to, keep up with the standards of YouTube, and it's gonna be hard for someone who's like brand new to the YouTube thing.
It
Yes.
is,
Yes.
but it's hard for all of us at the beginning. Like, I mean, I don't know about... I mean, Game Society was kind of a freak event, but like in my case, my channel, I started it in 2009. It wasn't monetized till 2013. I had to do that shit for 4 years without monetization.
Wow.
And in that time, I would have met those goals anyway. So this is... I can see why people are annoyed by it, but if you were going to be stopped by not having 1,000 subs and getting 4,000 hours in a year, you weren't that serious.
I can
that-
understand why it would be demotivating for like a week or so, but then you'd be like, well, fuck it, I enjoyed doing this anyway, and I wasn't really making that much money in the first place, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I mean, like, when I started out, there was no YouTube at all, and I didn't know if anybody
mean
was
monetization?
watching the shit I was doing. Yeah, there's no monetization. I made content for...
Fun.
How long? 14, maybe 15 years.
Well, just think in terms of just YouTube years. Like, you started in 2006. I mean, that's when Chad Vader blew up, and you didn't get monetization until, what, like 2011?
2008, actually. We were one of
Okay.
the first channels to get monetization. And let me tell you, it was not much. So,
Yeah.
if you thought Chad Vader made a lot of money off of monetization, nope, that never happened. We pretty much missed the boat on that whole thing. So,
You were too early for the
Yeah.
boat. The boat hadn't even been built
Yeah.
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
we were the boat.
I think I read somewhere that some website broke it down, and like if you didn't meet those criteria, like if you actually met the criteria of 4,000 hours and like 1,000 subs, you'd make about $25 in a year. So like
Yeah.
that's a pizza. You know what I mean? Like that's not that if that was gonna stop you from making videos, then you weren't really that serious.
Yeah.
So my advice is just keep making your videos, get them out there, and if you're meant to have an audience, you'll have one.
Yeah.
This is just to kind of stop clone channels and spam bot channels. I can see why people are annoyed because they see it as a response to the whole was it Paul Logan thing. Like, he's huge, and therefore they had to punish the small channels, but I kind of get why they did it.
Yeah. Now, when you explain it more, I can understand that. It's like how my parents start off their business. They were not big restaurant. They were started small, and they only got like 2 or 3 customers a day. But they kept going and going, and now pretty much everyone knows us from around the town or even out of town. People just come to our restaurant and just say, hey, we like your stuff. So, yeah, I can understand now.
Exactly. It takes years. It takes years and years. So, you know, and the, you know, $25 you're going to make a year off of having a channel that small should not dissuade you. Like I said, I went for 15 years. I think I actually did make, $100 back in 2000 during, or maybe it was 99, when there was the big, like, initial internet boom, and one of our videos caught the eye of a company that was just throwing money away because they didn't know what they were doing, and so they actually paid us like $100 or something.
Oh, wow.
For one of our videos, and then promptly went out of business. So during the crash, but otherwise, other than that, I never made any money off of anything, and I never got discouraged. I was just like, I'm getting better. I'm having fun doing it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So.
All right. Well, anybody else got anything to say on that subject?
Nah, man.
The only other thing I have to say about it is this is probably the least damaging thing that YouTube has done to us in recent memory. So,
Yeah.
You know, if this is as bad as it gets, then I'm happy.
Yeah. Although I do want to thank our fans for really being Johnny on the spot and helping us with that, because the Game Society 2, you know, as he pointed out, is all like private videos. Like, there's no reason to subscribe to that channel, really. But a bunch of our fans were cool enough to go over and subscribe to it anyway, just so we would meet the criteria. So we want to thank you guys for doing that.
Yes.
Though, if you do get a chance, rewatch some of the stuff, including this podcast, which is on that channel, actually, so you can keep those watch hours up. We do appreciate that. But we should be good if you guys just function normally. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
But we're only barely over the subscriber threshold. We got to be careful because they do the closed accounts thing every once in a while where they just purge, so we got to be careful with that, but we should be all right for the most part. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Hero, for picking that subject. Sort of. At least you had like you did actually have an opinion that got changed. Has that ever happened on this podcast ever?
No. Well, yes.
No, it did with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, Alden changed his position from like not sure about The Last Jedi to hate it.
That is an unbelievable segue, because literally the next subject was going to be Star Wars The Last Jedi a month later. What are your thoughts?
Wow, that is a crazy
That's
segue.
fucking unreal. Good job.
You didn't set that one up, dude?
He
did.
He had no idea. I never show you guys the podcast subjects in advance. That's kind of fucking amazing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, who wants to go first?
That's
Hero,
the magic of Hero. I'm just going to say that's the magic of Hero.
Let's have Hero start out with his initial opinion of The Last Jedi, since we haven't heard that, and then he can tell us if it's changed.
Well, we also have to see if he saw it. Did you see it, dude?
No, I have not.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, then.
That says it all.
The reason
Are you a
why
big
I
fan
haven't
of Star Wars at all?
Well, yeah. I've only. Well, can I say I'm a big fan because I have not seen the original 3, the original ones. I'm not saying the prequels because.
So what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
To tell you the truth, I only seen the prequels. So that's the sad truth. I have to.
That would define you as not a huge fan, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. I'm saying that's true. But I've seen, like, I only seen little bits, and I read the books of the old Star Wars, and I know basically the like Luke Skywalker or everything from the stories. Like, I can picture it, but like I can't say that I'm a big fan, and knowing that people say that how bad the new one came out, and it's just like, I'm like, do I really want to go see it, or should I go and see it for my own? So
yeah, go ahead, Emery. You got an opinion on this?
First of all, how dare you? How dare you not watch all of the original Star Wars? You make me sick. You're a disgusting human. No, I'm just kidding.
hey, can I say that I have the originals on VCR, but I don't have a VCR?
Oh, see. I can forgive that.
I would only be impressed if you had the laser discs.
Well, the thing is, though, if you have them on VHS, that's good, because that means you're going to see them when you eventually do find a way to watch them somehow. Find a friend, maybe. Then you're going to see them in their original unaltered form with no random fucking dinosaurs running around in the background. So that'll be good.
That's the sucky thing. Like I wanted to find like one on DVD or like online to download it, but like people say like, oh well, you don't want to watch this because they block certain parts of it. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
you made a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, so Emery.
That depends on which VHS version he's got. Like, to be fair, if he has the special editions, then he has the special editions.
That is true. I had the special edition VHSs. I didn't buy them. My parents did, but they didn't know what they were doing. So, forgive them. Barely.
I can't.
But anyway, the actual subject: Star Wars: The Last Jedi. A month later, we know Hero's opinion. He doesn't have one. So, Emery.
Yes. I saw it a second time, and I like it more the second time. But I gotta be honest, the big reason why I liked it more the second time is because I was able to see a little bit more potential as to like what the next movie could end up being. But I'm willing to bet that I'm gonna be disappointed when that doesn't come true again.
Guys,
about it.
sorry to interrupt. If you guys want to spoil the movie, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's like, just go right ahead. Just spoil it.
I don't think we'll have to, because I don't think we're going to get too specific. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because we did an entire podcast about that. We're just kind of doing updated opinions.
Yeah, we also don't want to force anybody to like try to turn off this podcast to avoid spoilers.
Right.
So we're not going to do spoilers, anybody. No spoilers. Okay.
So, I saw half of it like a second time, and I had to leave for personal reasons. But I was not.
You had to take a big dump.
Yeah, right. I wasn't really in like a great mood when I saw it, and it kind of just pissed me off. And I kind of just left feeling like, just really wasn't excited to see it again. And so, but I've also heard from other Star Wars fans that they've seen it a third and a fourth time and then really started to like it. It took them 4 fucking times to like the movie a lot. So, you know what? This is an ongoing process, and I don't know why this movie is like this, but get back to me in like 2 years from now after I've seen it maybe a couple more times, and then I'll probably like it more. I just think it's decent right now. I don't think it's great, and a lot of things left me very frustrated with the movie. So...
Yeah.
So, I saw it a second time here in Chicago, and I ended up liking it more, as a lot of people do. But then the interesting thing is, I was out in Portugal, and I saw it with my girlfriend out there. Now in Portugal, they don't dub the movies; they just put Portuguese subtitles in. So that was mostly annoying, except for one thing I noticed that I had no way of knowing at the beginning. You remember the scene at the beginning? And this is not a spoiler because it's like one of the first things that happens. Poe flies out to the Star Destroyer thing, and he says he's looking for General Hux, and there's like the comedic scene between the two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that he actually calls him General Hugs?
Nope. That's funny.
He called him General Hugs, like he was intentionally pronouncing the name wrong, but I had no idea because the cadence of his voice sounds exactly the same. But with subtitles, they put in parentheses Hugs.
Oh, it was like a bonus joke.
Oh.
Yeah, that I had to watch it with Portuguese subtitles to understand. So
that's
that amused
funny.
me.
General Hugs.
But yeah, no, I ended up liking it more. And one thing I noticed, that this story's been kind of circulating around the internet, so maybe it's fake, I don't know. But a lot of people apparently are pointing out that when Empire Strikes Back came out, a lot of major outlets thought it was shit. Until you got Return of the Jedi to kind of complete the puzzle.
Really?
And it could be a similar situation. Now I wasn't even alive when that movie came out, so I obviously have no memory of that. So I'm basing it entirely off of like old articles and stuff. But
Yeah.
I find that interesting because I could see how that could be the case. Because if you didn't know if there was no Return of the Jedi and you watched Empire, you'd be like, that was a whole lot of what? But I mean, it's hard to. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think it has gotten better, but I'll probably enjoy it more down the road as well.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Any other points about this?
Not really. I feel like since the movie's come out, I've talked about it to death, basically.
Yeah.
Not just on the
I've de-
podcast, but to all sorts of other people. And
I think I was talking to somebody about this last week and decided that there should be a scene in the next movie where Chewbacca dies, and he should die when he chokes on porg skeletons that he's eating. So like he actually decides to eat porgs after all, and then he actually chokes on a porg.
I like that idea, but I want to see like Chewbacca porg pellets, like when he shits, and they're just like owl pellets, but they're full of porg corpses and bones.
Actually,
and then
in that scene, like what I think would have made that scene work for me, where that porg looks really sad when Chewie's about to eat a roast porg, like looks like a Cornish game hen or something. It would have made more sense if if the camera had like zoomed out a little bit and he'd seen like a pile of like 40 porg skeletons sitting next to Chewie.
I agree.
Like this was just the 41st porg that he was about to finish off. And that porg was like, oh man, I'm really sad. Like that would have made more sense to me.
There's one scene that doesn't exist that I think you would have really liked. Do you remember the part in the actual movie where the lightsaber's on the ground?
Just real quick,
and the
before
porg is
you
like...
keep going, are we just gonna spoil then? We're just gonna do spoilers?
No, this is I swear the last thing I'm gonna talk about Star Wars, and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that part where the porg is like kicking a lightsaber?
Vaguely? Oh,
Yes,
the one
so
in the
there's-
grass, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So according to concept art, the porg when he's like kicking it was actually supposed to turn it on and kill the other porg. But they
See, that would have been
didn't.
funny.
Yeah, but they didn't ultimately do that.
Disney
that's too
says
bad.
no.
Yeah, exactly. So that didn't happen.
Anything,
but anyway, I guess that's
anything involving porgs is not a fucking spoiler, Emery. Come on.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
See what other people have to say
As
about that.
at Emery's request, we are done talking about Star Wars for now. So moving on, the next subject, which I think is something that you two would find more interesting. That's why I brought it into this. Ronda Rousey signed with the WWE.
Aw.
Did you guys hear about that?
No.
I did hear about that, yeah.
Now, you guys, I know, watch some UFC or whatever at some point, especially you, Aaron. So, what do you think of that?
I'm thinking that it was probably a good career move. She's just going from actually getting the fuck beat out of her, every time she does a match, to like more fake, sort of just athletic dancing.
Yeah.
And then she's probably going to make even more money at it. I wouldn't be surprised. And she won't actually have to injure herself too severely. I mean, I know that wrestlers do still get injured and bruised and battered, but probably in a slightly less serious way for the most part. So I think it's a smart move on her part. I just can't imagine, that she had that much of a career left in the UFC anyway. At a certain point, you get pretty fucked up and you just can't do it anymore unless you're a monster, which I know there are some UFC fighters that go for years and their ears balloon up and they look really freakish and
they become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
After being struck down enough times.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's not a long-lived career, so she'll be able to extend her career probably a bit more by switching to the WWE.
Yeah, she kind of like, in my opinion, what happened to Ronda Rousey was almost like what happens to child actors. Like really famous child actors like Macaulay Culkin or somebody. Like she just had this really explosive like level of like popularity where she was like in fucking movies and stuff. Like she was turning into like the female The Rock for a little bit there. So there was just a lot of like really super high expectations of her that like, were very unrealistic. And then when she kind of failed to live up to them, she just really didn't take it well,
Oh yeah, now they can continue the narrative however they want now.
Yeah.
So there's no need for her to win those type of fights. So seems like a good plan. I don't know. Hero, what do you think?
My opinion on the wrestling? Fighting is fun. I don't know.
In other words, no comment.
I still prefer to watch UFC. I'm not going to get into WWE anytime soon.
Yeah, same here.
I like to watch people actually get the real shit beat out of them. So I
And
understand.
I guess you got that with Ronda Rousey, right?
I didn't actually see her fight much. I think maybe I only saw one fight, but I haven't kept up with the UFC much lately. Used to
I
watch
just
it
remember
more.
I just remember the memes. Like didn't she lose that fight like historically fast? Like one punch or some shit?
She just, I didn't watch it, but I just know that she lost to somebody that she probably shouldn't have, and never really recovered from it. That's all I know.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess that's that. So moving on. The next subject is brought to us by a new Patreon backer who did not actually pick this, but he didn't get back to me, so I had to pick this on his behalf. Nicholas Samuel Plant, which is a cool-ass name, by the way. The subject in question here is Toys R Us has shut down 182 of its U.S. stores, and I'm sad to say that my childhood Toys R Us is one of those 182. I guess thoughts on that, or just the concept of a brick and mortar toy store, and what do you guys think about all that shit?
I actually went to a Toys R Us over Christmas. No, it was Halloween. Yeah, I went to a Toys R Us around Halloween because I was looking with Kat for some stuff to put on her Halloween costume, and she wanted like a stuffed animal or something, and so we actually went there, and I was just like, holy shit, this place! I can't believe this place still exists. You know, like what is even the
in
purpose?
a couple weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess good riddance in a way.
It's weird. Toys R Us, but they're only doing this in the U.S. And I find that interesting because, again, I was in Portugal not too long ago, and my girlfriend and I went to a Toys R Us there. And then she and I were walking around talking, and we realized we've been to Toys R Us's in 5 different countries. And they're all doing well except in the States. And I think it has something to do with, obviously, like, you know, Amazon and stuff like that crushing them, but it's just kind of interesting that such an iconic American chain may cease to exist here, but still exist in other places.
Yeah.
They should have done a pivot, and they should have started selling, like, you know, specialty coffee drinks.
Yeah.
Then I could have kept them alive single-handedly.
Well,
yes.
then, like, moms would go in to get their specialty coffee drinks. They'd bring the kids in. The kids could go look for toys, and they'd have some coffee, and, you know, there'd be some magazines or something. I don't know, like, just something to...
Aaron, I don't give you much credit for stuff, but I gotta give you credit. That's a good fucking idea. Like, if they had integrated Starbucks into Toys R Us, because I remember going in there as a kid and just being like, holy shit, this is the greatest place in the world, but your mom's all the parents are always pissed off because they know they're spending money on crap they don't want.
Yeah.
So if you found a way to butter up the parents, you know, coffee's a good idea, stuff like that, that's, you know, or just like parent zone where they just go over and like they have chairs and they just fucking sit there all
I
day
think
or
it's
whatever.
more the moms, though, because I think most dads that are going to go in there are going to be, like, excited by some of the toys anyway, because men just never grow up, so...
Yeah, they also got, you know, video game sections, so the dads
Exactly.
usually going to be excited about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the problem, dude. You start incorporating all sorts of non-toy things, and all of a sudden the name needs to get changed. You know, it's not called like Frappuccinos and Toys R Us.
They changed it to Toys Are a Part of Us.
Toys are one of the many things that we offer at this store.
Us.
I think the last store to close should change their sign to just say The Last of Us.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
Hero, did you ever go to a Toys R Us?
Yes, but no toys
Cool.
for me when I was a kid.
Oh, you didn't have toys?
Oh, no.
No, my parents
Toys aren't
were-
for you. Okay,
no,
got it.
No, yeah, definitely. My parents were
Toys aren't
strict,
us.
strict, man.
What
Oh
did
my
What
God.
did your parents get you then if they didn't get you toys?
Work?
Work?
I had to work for what I want.
Here's the
Work are us.
here's the husk of an onion. Play with that.
Here's a rock.
Here's
and a
an
stick.
old-
Make
You
something
had like
with that.
Cock Nibbler's parents. Giving you cabbages as toys. Awesome.
There you go, yeah. Cabbages are fun.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to say about this whole thing about Toys R Us?
Well, the only other thing I have to say is, like, I think stores that really do have, like, just that one focus are probably kind of doomed. And it'll be sad. Like, I really do like going into bookstores. I went to a Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was like, I just like being in a bookstore and seeing all the books and looking for books. But then I spent an hour just trying to track down like 5 or 6 books that I was interested in. Couldn't find a single one. You can always go up to the counter and say, oh, we can order it for you. And I'm like, well, no, I'll just go order it on Amazon and have it tomorrow, and I don't have to come back. It's just like, or even if they send it to you, it's like time consuming. So you really have to have time to spare if you're going to go into a place.
What you just said is like the epitome of ironic. So I was just in New York, and I didn't know this, but across the street from the Empire State Building, Amazon built a physical bookstore. And I think that they did that just to fuck with people. Like, because I don't see why else you would do that. Like, they were the ones who shut down all these fucking bookstores.
No, yeah. I mean, we had a bookstore near the mall, and it shut down. And I like going to the bookstore to look at, like how Aaron said, just to look at books or listen to music. And I mean, you can literally get everything online now, and just be more lazy as hell. But that gave me a reason to go outside and actually walk for some reason.
Well, I've heard conspiracy theories about Amazon. I've heard that either they operate at a loss, or like they have been operating at a loss, or had been operating at a loss, and like the whole point of Amazon is to drive other businesses out of business so that they can just replace them. You know, so that this is an example of that conspiracy theory like seeming to make a little bit of sense. Because, yeah, at first they just drive bookstores out of business completely. But then they just fucking replace them, with their own thing.
I mean, there's, like, I think a store in Seattle right now, they're selling just grocery stuff. Like, you could just walk in with just your phone and just scan it, and then you can buy, like, regular made sandwiches, like how Safeway has it or Walmart does, too. And it's just crazy.
Right on. Well, Toys R Us is out of business. Moving on. So you guys ready to talk about some shout-outs?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, Emery, as always, you know how this goes. You're all particular. How do you want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
What number you want, son?
7.
Okay. Hero, do you want to be part of this? Have you ever heard us do this? Basically, there's a bunch of Patreon backers who get shout-outs because they're at that level, and we just kind of talk about them for a second. Do you want to be involved in that, or do you want us to just do it ourselves? How do you want to do it?
I'll try to get involved with it a little bit. But...
All right. You want to get involved? Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I like that. So Emery wants. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I always hate when you do this to me because I'm never prepared.
Well, I always hate when you do it to me.
1, 2, 3, 4. You are the one who's all fucking particular about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If I get fucking Ben Barker again, I'm gonna flip his shit.
That's on you if that happens, man.
I think it means Emery goes third.
Yeah, Emery goes third. Okay. So, all right, Aaron, you just go first. You have Chris Alexander. He's brand new.
Chris Alexander, you are like a fine wine. You are liquidy, and you fit in a glass, and you are intoxicating.
Okay.
I want a glass.
It'd have to be a large glass, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. Large.
I kind of like this idea that we just stick with beverages that these people are like. Hero, you have Daniel Leapley.
Daniel Lipley, okay. Much more better than Jack Daniel, I gotta say.
Ah!
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Nice and strong, and with a hint of a gentleness to it.
On the back end, right?
Yeah.
Gentle backhand. Strong front end. Delicious. Nice job.
Emery, then you have Alden Fisher.
Alden Fisher. Alden, you're like if if you're going on a long road trip and you stop in at a gas station and you just go to the back of the speedway there that they have there, and you go to the big fountain drink thing, and they're like, oh, any size fountain drink for like 69 cents. And so then you take a cup and then you just like squirt a little bit of every single drink into that cup and you stir it around and then you take a swig. That's fucking Alden Fisher right there.
It's important, though, to remember that you have to travel for a long ways. You can't just walk down to the local store and get that drink. That's not like Alden, everybody.
No, it's not.
You have to go on a long road trip.
Yep.
Yeah, that's part of the adventure of a good old Alden Fisher.
Yes.
So I got Michael Vanderslice, and that's kind of obvious. He is literally. Do you remember Slice? Do you remember that soda? Does anybody remember that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's the old
lemon.
Pepsi. Yeah, the Slice lemon lime. There was actually a bunch of flavors, but lemon lime was the best one. But yeah, Michael Vanderslice is like, that's how they invented. Actually, Michael Vanderslice invented Slice. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. He made it, and he did a good job. But eventually, they went out of business, I guess. And I'm sorry, Michael, but I hope you're doing okay. You must be doing okay. You're supporting us on Patreon, so I'm glad you got all that
money.
fucking. He's got all that hot Slice money.
Slice
Thank
money,
you again
yeah.
for that. That's cool of you to back us, and
He also
we're
invented.
glad you invented Slice.
He invented Vander's soda as well, but I'm pretty sure that went out of business too. So.
Yeah, that was German only. That only came out in Germany. Vander.
Not very well known.
That's why we don't know it that well over here. So Aaron, then you've got Ben Barker.
Ben Barker is like the taste of your first sip of ice water on a 100-degree day.
Ooh, soothing.
Yeah, he's relief. He's like utterly relieving to your palate.
But like, what are you wearing when you're drinking some Ben Barker?
You're wearing like almost nothing. It's so hot.
Yeah, it's really fucking hot. Weren't you listening?
Well, he wants to know. He obviously is very interested.
I want to picture it.
He wants to pour Ben Barker all over himself on a hot summer day while wearing no clothes.
Just wearing a pair of boxers with an elephant pattern.
Yeah.
Like, what I imagine is, you ever see one of those little like pools that like people put out in the front? It's like those little inner tube pools.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like tiny, like Homer Simpson sits in one. I imagine you just fill that with Ben Barker. That's what you're doing.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense actually.
He's that
if you think
cool.
about it. Yeah. Hero, you've got Rob Comjathy.
Wrong contact. He's like sparkling water. Refreshing
Flavored sparkling water?
flavor. Yeah. With a hint of lime, I'm going to say.
Is it like communist water?
Yes. Very communist.
Okay, that makes sense. Comjathy, communist water. Put two and two together, son.
I don't. That doesn't work for me.
No, didn't work for
Fine.
me.
Then you tell us what kind of water it is.
It's bubbly.
Yeah. But was it bubbled in the former Soviet Union?
No.
How about China?
Yes.
Okay.
It was bottled
Okay.
in China.
All right,
Bubbly
it's Chinese
Chinese
water.
lemon-flavored water.
Thank you, Rob. All right, Emmerich, you've got Matthew.
Matthew. Oh my God. Dude, you are literally the Coca-Cola. Like, you're the most generic, every place has it, still really tasty. Going strong for a very fucking long time. You're made of some really good, legit stuff. But, I can't fucking turn around without seeing you, on the corner of the street. Or
They
like
used
in
to
my
put-
fridge.
You used to put cocaine in yourself.
Yeah, you used to be filled with all sorts of cocaine, but you've come clean since
Luckily,
then.
you realized that was a bad idea and you stopped.
You're still just as good without the cocaine, brother. You really
Yes.
are.
Oh, God, yes.
Thank you, Matthew. I've got Cheesemaster 007. This one's really obvious. He made a cheese beverage. You thought that would work because beverages are popular, cheese is popular, but come on, dude, really? We're not. I mean, he actually created Cheese Whiz, hoping that would take off as like a beverage, but ended up being more of a sandwich thing. 'Cause,
So
I mean,
he's Cheese Whiz in a cup.
Yeah, but like it's not. It's like less viscous, so you can actually drink it. It was kind of gross.
Oh.
And when I say kind of, I mean like really fucking gross.
That sounds gross.
But he still
sorry,
maintains
Cheese Master.
he maintains his mastery over cheese.
He does, but not in the soda department.
Okay, that's fair.
That soda aisle remains devoid of cheese flavored beverages for now.
For now.
For now. Aaron, Nick Ferreira, who I believe is also new.
Nick Ferreira is like, he's he's like he's like Crystal Pepsi. I
So
mean,
discontinued?
yeah, but then
Sorry, Nick.
brought back again. You know, like he just went through
okay.
a phase. He went through a phase basically,
Okay.
and now they brought him back, and he's just as Crystal and just as Pepsi again.
Okay. All right. And last one here by Hero, we got John Mangrum.
John Mangrum. He's like fine wine, aging, and just aging.
Damn.
Sorry, John. That was cold. But he also means you taste good. So that's good.
Yeah, he gets better
John will
over
get you
age.
drunk. Exactly.
You get better with age, is that what you
He's
said?
better.
Yeah.
He gets better with age. It's true.
He gets better with age.
I've met him. I know.
Yeah, John's cool. All right, well, thank you everyone who paid for the shout-outs there. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to our next subject here, which is also brought to us by a Patreon backer who also did not get back to me, so I had to pick one on their behalf. This is by Eric Stevenson. I don't know if you guys heard this, but the Xbox Game Pass program has expanded the way it's going to work. All right, first of all, you guys familiar with that program at all?
Yes.
You two? How about you guys?
Not really. No.
All right, let me give you a basic explanation here. It's kind of like the Netflix of gaming. So if you subscribe to the service, you can kind of basically download any game on Xbox One that's within the program confines and play it throughout the duration of your subscription. It's not, you don't own it. It's not even a digital owning of the game. It's literally as temporary as your subscription. So what they've done is they've expanded the program by now allowing all brand new Microsoft owned properties anyway to be part of it. So for example, Sea of Thieves is about to come out. If you paid, I think it's like $9.99 a month for Xbox Game Pass, you'd be able to get Sea of Thieves that day and just play it day one without either paying the full retail to have a digital copy or a full physical copy. So as someone I know, Emery, you're very much into digital stuff. I'm a little surprised you haven't perhaps got on this program, or do you think maybe this would get you to do it?
Can you explain it again?
Are you serious?
No, I just,
right.
it's not
Do
really.
you not understand?
It's not. Yeah, explain it slower.
Okay, so, all right, you know how you have Netflix?
Yes.
And you're paying like a flat rate and you can just watch whatever's on Netflix digital streaming?
Yes.
Same exact concept, but with Xbox One titles. You don't download them. You download them, but you only have access to them as long as you have the subscription service.
Sure. Okay.
But the change that they've made is that rather than being only catalog or older titles, now at least Microsoft's first-party titles, things that they actually own, your Halos or anything by Rare or whatever, will now be available on the same platform.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that definitely makes it more appealing, at least for somebody like me who generally, if a title is more than like a year old, I probably am not really going to play it unless it's one of my favorite games, like ever. So, having access to being able to play new games as they come out, essentially for free, if you think about it, it's pretty good. I kind of like that. I could dig it. It's almost like renting,
I think it's a great idea if you're not the type of person who really goes back to games and doesn't really care, where you left off, or if you're like you said, like if you just want to play Sea of Thieves for a week or two when it first comes out, and you don't want to have to pay the full price because it is pretty expensive, and you're going to do that with a lot of games, then it's worth it. In fact, for us, since we stream a lot of different games, that could be really great.
Yeah.
If it was, more than just Microsoft titles.
Yeah, like if it was every new game you could do that for, like holy shit,
Right.
I'd get on that easy. I
But
would never have to buy a game again, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I wouldn't do it for games that I want to go back to. And there's not that many that I even really would ever go back to again. And even if I do, a lot of times I'll just start a new game anyway. So I don't know. It depends on if you are getting certain achievements or building up a character or something, or doing something that you need to remain safe. Like, I'm just wondering if you're playing a game and you stop the subscription for a while and then you come back, is all your shit just gone, or is it still there and now you can reaccess it?
No idea. I assume you can reaccess it, but I don't know.
That's the question.
Because I think most of your saves would be in the cloud. Because even as is, your save data is in the cloud, so I assume it would work the same way.
Yeah, it should. It should work that way.
What's your opinion on this?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, it's something that I would be interested in if I wanted to try out a game or see if I like it or enjoy it, and maybe buy the game if I really want to play it. But
It's true. It might be a good way to just try games out, see if you like them, and then you can buy them if you want to keep them forever. So
Yeah, you can kind of think of it like a rental system if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was gonna be like if you pay your Xbox Live, they include it with that. And I didn't think I did.
I think you get 1 month free for that, but I think it is a separate paid service. But I think they'll give you a month free.
All right.
Yeah. If it was included in Xbox Live Gold, I mean that would just be holy shit.
Yeah. So any other thoughts on this? Anyone?
No, not for me.
Nope.
All right. Well, then moving on. Speaking of one of Emery's favorite games of all time, For Honor's 5th season comes out on February 15th, and it's going to include new dedicated servers. Emery, how fucking jacked are you for this?
Dude, I'm so excited. Like it's gonna be so fucking great. I've seen a lot of people's reactions because they did a test. There was a test server with the with the dedicated servers. There was a test for it, and most of what I've heard, says that it improves the game dramatically. So I'm so happy that Ubisoft actually, decided to go about doing it. I mean, I know For Honor was one of the best-selling games, of last year, even though, it had a pretty dramatic drop-off as far as, recurring players, but it's not nearly as bad as a lot of the news stories, would make it out to be. There's still plenty of people playing it. And I think that's the reason why they decided to do these dedicated servers, because the game's more successful than people give it credit for. And this is kind of proof. And I hope that it brings some people back, because a lot of people left because with the peer-to-peer connection model, people get fucking disconnected all the time. Like you'd be playing a game and the other team, you're beating them really, really hard, and then they're getting frustrated and they all start quitting. And it just so happened that one of the people who was quitting was the main host, and then the game just ends, crashes, and nobody gets anything. And that's a major reason why people are, we're quitting the game, and that just won't happen anymore. Or at least if it does happen, it'll be much, much more rare. So, super excited.
All right, I think Emery kind of covered that one well. Hero, have you ever played For Honor?
Yeah, I have played it a little bit. I enjoyed it, but after a while, it's just like how Emery said, the servers just always got me killed and lag and all that.
Yeah.
Well, when they get the servers up, we should do a live stream.
We should.
I agree.
And Hero, you and Emery can battle.
All right.
That'd be awesome. Do you play it on Xbox or PS4 or PC or what?
PC.
PC? Okay. I only have it for Xbox and PlayStation 4, sadly.
Oh, I can get it for PlayStation 4 then.
Yeah?
It should be cheaper
All right.
now, so...
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. I would love to play that game again for stream, and hopefully people actually enjoy watching it.
Well, you must be good at it now, so
It's a fun game. I mean,
Definitely
it's,
get better.
there's, it's a good mechanics for it for any other game that I've seen.
Yeah. And, not only are they doing new dedicated servers, but they're also making a lot of changes to the more underpowered classes, to bring them more in line with the rest of the cast, and doing a lot of balancing this coming season, taking a break from the releasing, brand new heroes and stuff. So,
Heyo.
yeah, I think the overall health of the game is going to really be improved.
when are they going to introduce battle wizards?
Oh, I don't know. That's you might be joking, but that is a thing that's been brought up by fans since the beginning. Like, some of the abilities that some of the new heroes get are kind of crazy. So maybe we'll get magic at some point.
Yeah, man,
Wizards.
magic shields, magic swords.
Awesome. All right. Well, moving on. So this subject was, again, another Patreon backer who got to pick a subject, didn't get back to me, so I had to pick one on their behalf. This is from Connor Stewart. We're going to talk about Nintendo Labo. Has anyone heard about this?
Yes.
You have. Have the other two? Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, I have.
No.
You have. Aaron hasn't. Okay. Hero, do you think you could explain to Aaron what Nintendo Labo is?
Nintendo Labo. Think of it as an attachment to your Switch, but not really. It's just you put it in a box, and somehow it sends a message to your Switch, and whatever you do with it, it'll mimic it in the game. So
essentially what Nintendo's doing is they're selling these games that are compatible with cardboard, and they're going to give you cardboard. And you, for example, you build a cardboard piano and you put the Switch in it, and then you play the cardboard, and then the game that it comes with knows you're playing it on fucking cardboard.
there's a robot suit and motorcycles too.
Yeah. So I want to say up front, I'm sure all of us think this is kind of dumb, a little hilarious, but I do want to say, in all fairness, this isn't aimed at any of us. This is aimed for little kids. But it is funny when you look at all the other advancements everyone's making, and Nintendo's like, yeah, fucking cardboard. That's what we're doing.
It's hilarious.
Somehow it'll end up being insanely popular for them.
Yeah,
I just
that is
know.
also
definitely.
That's also correct. I'm sure it'll sell like fucking gangbusters.
Hey, no matter how much I'm laughing about it, I wanna get one.
Exactly. You are the problem, sir.
Well, it's unique, That's cool. And you know what?
Yeah.
I almost want to get one because it reminds me of, you guessed it, Arby's. Fucking.
I was gonna say your toys growing up. You
Gonna
almost
make
said
a
cardboard.
cardboard meat mountain? I don't get it.
Okay, you gotta see the Arby's fucking advertisements that are on social
Oh,
media.
yes, I know
They
exactly what
make
you're talking
all
about.
sorts of shit out of cardboard for all their Facebook advertisements and shit. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, holy shit, they totally stole this idea from fucking Arby's. Like, what?
Well, actually, all right. This is funny. This is obviously not the original subject. I saw this video that broke down how that happened with Arby's.
Uh-huh.
They apparently just took 3 sandwiches or whatever and put them in a pyramid shape, and it kind of looked like a Zelda Triforce. And they just tweeted it without really thinking about it. Everybody's like, Zelda! And they were like, oh, that's a thing. So then they literally decided to just start putting their sandwiches next to video game icons, because then people will share them. That's the entire basis of that goddamn campaign. If you actually, Maddox did an entire video breaking down why it's the stupidest thing ever. It's pretty funny.
It's awesome. It's not stupid. It's awesome.
It is when you realize that it was a mistake.
Yeah, well, you were a mistake.
I definitely was. I think 95% of all people were a fucking mistake. Most people at some point have to accept that when their parents first found out, they went, fuck. Most people, that's how we were born. Fuck.
They were making things out of cardboard, and all of a sudden someone got pregnant.
Exactly. Nintendo
should've
Labo
made-
for kids.
They should make children out of cardboard for parents.
Well, if I can make a cardboard TARDIS, I'll buy it.
Okay, cool. Does anyone else have anything to say about Nintendo Labo, or should we move on?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then this subject, I thought this one was kind of interesting. So you guys know the Black Panther movie's coming out, Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? Mm-hmm. First of all, that movie looks pretty cool. I want to check it out. Michael B. Jordan is in it, and he played he was one of the characters, Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four, like the shitty remake a couple years ago. First of all, I think it's funny that he moved over to the MCU when Chris Evans played the same exact character, Johnny Storm, in the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four, and he moved over as Captain America. That's funny to me. But he basically said that he hopes that his role in Fantastic Four will basically rectify and make everyone forget that he was ever in Fantastic Four. And I just think that's funny. So what do you guys think of that, and are you guys excited to see this movie?
Yeah, I was a little confused when I saw he was going to be playing a different character. I'm most excited to see Bilbo and Gollum in it, though.
They're in it?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
You mean Andy Serkis?
Yes, correct. Bilbo and Gollum. Well, Adam doesn't know what I'm talking about, but yes.
Andy Serkis is
I know he was
every
Gollum.
movie.
Yeah, Andy Serkis was fucking Snoke, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware.
Andy Serkis.
Both of them
I'm
are
excited
in
to
it,
see
and
Andy Serkis just play Andy Serkis.
They're playing characters who interact. So, I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Bilbo was the great adventure guy. The fucking I know this shit.
You know this shit. The great adventurer guy. Yep.
Yeah, I remember from the trailer. I'm going to go on a great adventure. I remember that shit.
I think he says that in Black Panther too, oddly enough.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He walks in, and Andy Serkis is just like, get to the pockets. And
then Black Panther just beats the shit out of both of them.
He's like, don't see this fucking shit movie, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Hero, do you have any opinions on any of this crap?
Well, I can't wait to go see the movie.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be fun.
Definitely.
How is this a topic, Adam? You're just
I don't know.
hey,
I literally just wanted to talk about Black Panther's coming out, I think, next month. And I was just curious if anybody was excited about the movie. Basically, all that it was.
All right, you got affirmations on that shit. Although I don't think Emery said if he was excited about it.
I'm probably not going to see it in theaters. Just because I don't see most Marvel movies in theaters, or honestly most movies in general in theaters. But I can't wait for it to come to Hulu or Netflix or something, and then for me one afternoon when I don't have any work to do or something and I'm bored to just happen to be like, oh shit, there's Black Panther. I've always wanted to see that, and then watch it.
That will be a good way to watch that, actually.
So for Emery, it's like a really high priority. Got it. All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think that'll be fun. But, so anybody else? Any thoughts on this? Or should we go to our final subject?
Final subject.
All right, final subject. Our final subject, because he couldn't be here, Abid, we're going to say this is his subject, even though I doubt he would care. I don't even know if he's a movie guy. But the last subject is the Oscars are right around the corner. Does anybody have any Oscar predictions? Did you guys see any of the movies that were nominated?
I have no idea what was nominated. Won't watch it.
Was Thor Ragnarok nominated for anything?
No.
I hope it wins.
I quickly looked over the list of what was nominated for Best Picture, and the only one I had actually seen on that list was Dunkirk. And I was just like, Dunkirk was a well-made movie, but it had no story. And if you didn't know the events of Dunkirk, that actually occurred in real life, there's no way that movie would be interesting to you. So I'm a little surprised it was nominated, but then I was like...
I don't know if that's precisely true, but honestly, Dunkirk just sort of washed over me, and when I left the theater, I remembered nothing about it, so it just didn't stick with me.
That's kind of my point. Yeah, that's kind of my point. So I was a little surprised to see that it got nominated for Best Picture. I mean, I could see cinematography or even Best Directing, because it was very competently crafted. It's just not a very interesting or compelling story, especially in the way that it was told. But that's the only movie I saw on the list, so it's the only one I can even discuss, which I guess goes to a greater point of, I don't know, Oscar movies are never the biggest movies of the year, but I guess that's kind of an interesting holdout, and I kind of like that, and I respect that.
Yeah, Blade Runner's nominated for a bunch of things. So
Oh, I'm
that's
sure,
nice.
but yeah, I know
Yeah, I'd
Logan
love
was
to see
nominated
Blade
for
Runner.
something.
Blade Runner should get something. That would be cool, but I'm sure it won't.
I kind of hope that The Shape of Water wins Best Picture, even though I haven't seen it, or literally
I have
any
seen
of the
that.
other ones on the list.
Shape of Water was good. And there was some really interesting acting in that too, actually. So I can kind of see why it's been nominated. I don't even. Is it nominated for Best Picture?
Oh shit! I saw Get Out. Yeah, it is nominated for Best Picture. I did see Get
really?
Out. That's nominated as well, and I like that one a lot.
I don't think Shape of Water could win Best Picture,
No?
but
Okay.
it's a pretty cool movie, and it's definitely worth checking out.
Did you see Get Out?
I have not seen Get Out, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Highly
I think some
recommend it.
afternoon when I don't have anything going on
Yeah.
and I'm perusing Netflix, I'm gonna watch Get Out.
Okay. Good. I think Daniel Day-Lewis should win Best Actor for Phantom Thread, even though I've never seen it. But I just think Daniel Day-Lewis should win Best Actor all the time.
Yeah, because
Doesn't he have like 3 Oscars?
Oh God, he's going up against Gary Oldman. Oh, I take it back. Gary Oldman should win again for a movie I haven't seen.
I don't think he's won one yet, has he?
I don't think he
Yeah,
has.
Gary Oldman has never won an Oscar.
Oh, he deserves it.
Oh, he
Come on,
does.
people.
For Darkest Hour? What is that movie?
The movie that made him win an Oscar.
Oh, dude, that's
it's
one where he
about
plays fucking
the president.
Winston Churchill, right? Yeah.
It's Churchill. Is
He's
it
playing
Churchill?
Winston Churchill in
That's right.
in Darkest Hour. That seems like a movie you'd want to watch, Adam.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed. Let's go see it.
Gary Oldman playing fucking Winston Churchill in a World War II movie is the exact type of movie that Adam would want to watch.
Yeah, it's true. Let's go see it right now. Fuck this podcast. We out.
Yeah.
Before we do wrap it up, though, Hero, any thoughts on any of this Oscar stuff? Do you care in the slightest?
No.
All right then. He has said his piece. So with that, I want to thank Hero for joining us. I also want to thank Abed, Connor, Eric, John, Nick, Cheesemaster, Matthew, Rob, Ben, Michael, Eldon, Daniel, Chris, Nicholas, and again Hero for being all part of this and making this possible. Everybody who backs our Patreon, we of course appreciate it, and everybody who just watches our videos in general. You guys are the best. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Emery. And any last thoughts? Anybody?
That was your best Oscar speech yet.
I am a hero. Get it? See where I got it
No,
from?
you're not Hero.
Stop it.
Hero
Oh.
is
I
Hero.
didn't say I was Hero. I said I am a hero. Which, by the way, how do you feel about the fact that we tag you in the Discord constantly about that?
Annoying, but it's still funny.
I thought you were enjoying it. I'm
Stop
sorry.
it. Just
No,
stop it.
it's I enjoy it. It's funny, but like every time I look at my phone, it's like, what's going on? It's like, oh, Discord. Okay.
Yeah, you feel free to ignore it. It's fine. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and have a good one.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Bye.
Thanks for showing up, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for being on, Hero.
And thanks for listening to our podcast, everybody. Bye-bye.